President William Ruto was interviewed today by Citizen NTV, K24, TV 47, and some interesting issues came out here. And of course, folks, if we go on, let me say hi to you. I believe you're doing well, wherever you are. Now, if you are new here, take your time, of course, subscribe so that we meet here every time. Now, welcome back to the big question. And today's big question is, what are the mistakes or some mistakes that the president did in this interview? You will agree with me that the way the president answered some questions here were not, satisfying. For example, the question, there are 4 questions that he was asked, and of course, Kenyans were eagerly waiting to hear what the head of state would say. For example, you have the issue of GMO, of course, that has hit the political scene. You have the issue of Hustler Fund that is now active. You have the issue of school, university help. Okay, you have the issue of course, the cost of living. Now, of course, you have to name Unga there. Now, let's start with the issue of GMO. The president was asked, he was asked by Frederick, like, people are saying that GMO is harmful to health. Experts, doctors have said that GMO is cancerous. So, you are the president. What do you intend to do about this issue? And, the president was somehow temperamental. He did not like the question because he's not a doctor. So, there's no way he could, tell off the doctors who claim that GMO is cancerous. It's obvious that GMO is cancerous and it has been there. In fact, the president himself was the one that rejected GMO some 10 years ago. And of course, he was the Minister for Agriculture. But now he's accepting GMO. So people are like, okay, why are you accepting GMO right now? So he's saying that he used a very, of course, vulgar language, like he used, watu wanasema kwamba GMO ukikula unamea matiti, yeye ana matiti. Yeah, he said that he doesn't have breast. Yeah, sorry, he even said that ukikula GMO utamea mapembe, yeye ana mapembe. Yeah, that was his answer. That shows you that someone who lacks the correct answer, okay? He was technically avoiding the question. Yeah, that's a technical way of avoiding a question. So that's a mistake, because you need to explain to Kenyans, this GMO, we do this and that. Now, another question I think that the president, of course, made a huge mistake. The issue of the Hustler Fund payment. It was asked a very simple question. This Hustler Fund was not in the budget. Yeah, so people are questioning the source of this money. Where did this money come from? The president could not answer that question. Okay, he was fumbling, he was saying that the money, you actually admitted that the money was not in the budget. So where did the money come from? That's a question that the president found difficult to answer, because the insinuation is that this money is for business. Because if it was not in the budget, so where did it come from? It means that this payment, when people pay or repay the loan, where will this money go through? That's a question that I think the president did not answer. Yeah, he just fumbled. I think Raila Odinga has found a loophole. Okay, he will attack Ruto in this question. Yeah, the way he answered the question that people have been paying the loan, he's saying that over 700 million Kenyan shillings has already been paid. Okay, by people who borrowed the money. That was his answer. And of course, then this is the question, where has the 700 million gone? And of course, another question was interesting about the Hustler Fund, that you give Kenyans 500 Kenyan shillings. So what will 500 Kenyan shillings do to an ordinary Kenyan? Right now, things are very expensive. And the answer was Mama Mboga can, of course, use the 500 or 1,000 to get under 1,000. Something that I don't agree. I don't believe Mama Mboga can use 1,000 shillings or 2,000 shillings to get 1,000 as a profit. That's not true. Because if that's the case, then I think Mama Mbogas would have been now rich people. Because you can't use 2,000 and get 1,000 on top. is not easy for Mama Boga. So that's a question that, even though you said that when you repay, your limit goes up, which is true. Another question that the president did not answer well was the issue of school fees. Of course, Ruto, I think I have to give him credit here, because Ruto has been championing for education. When he was the Minister for Education, of course, he did a good job. He enabled students, he enabled the expansion of university that, of course, led to more students being admitted to the universities, which is a good thing indeed. But here now, this issue of help, why are you disbanding help? Yeah, I think it will take Kenyans 100 years to understand this issue, because help has been there for over 40 years. So how will you disband this help that has helped poor people go through university education? Of course, it's having some ways of dealing with this issue. He's saying that he wants to merge these tertiary institutions, these TVET universities. He wants them to share a common funding, which is not bad. But people are like, okay, how will that happen? Will it happen, or is it a way of trying to mess with Kenyans? So that one will leave it pending. We don't know what will happen, but he's saying that he's dealing with this issue. So that one we cannot, of course, crucify him. So let us wait and see. The other issue that the cost of living. Now this is the major issue here. The cost of living. The cost of living is now, like, people are suffering. Yeah, some people went to Ocha, to Mashambani, and they have not come back. They are intending to remain there. Why? Because they cannot cope up with the situations here in the city. They cannot, match the cost of living here. So they prefer remaining home. No, unga now is 230. And one mistake that I think he has done here is attacked Raila in this issue. He said that if Raila would have won the elections, right now unga would have been 300 shillings. Something that I don't agree, because we cannot know. But now, he's saying that he's finding ways of, as in, went to the behind the scene and realized the root cause of this issue. So it's finding ways of course, rectifying this issue. Now, the question is, what will you do about it? Yeah, what will you do about it? What will you do about this hunger issue? Okay. So, folks, he promised Kenya that he will handle it within the first week is inaugurated, but now is 4 months from the time it was inaugurated, so we don't know what will happen. But people are still waiting. So for those of the mistake that Ruto did in the interview, that I feel he really messed himself up. But of course, in anything good, there's always a bad thing. He performed also well in the interview, but the mistakes, of course, he did there. So, folks, that's just my opinion. So, tell me your opinion there. Comment then, tell me. What do you think about these points? Do you think he really made these mistakes, or do you think he did not make any mistakes? Thank you for watching. See you soon in the next video.